Hey guys, it's Anne-Marie. Yes, I'm not really driving. Well, I am driving. After I left my grandparents' house, something told me to go back to my old neighborhood. So, here we are. This is the house I grew up in. There is the carport where we threw the fish. This is the church parking lot. There used to be a gate right here, a metal gate right here, and you couldn't get in. And back here, can't roll this window down, it's broke. Used to be all woods, and we used to think like the witches lived back there. Isn't that funny? And so here is tree, my favorite tree growing up. That was my favorite tree to hang out. That was my best friend Scotty's house. You can't see it. And there was a tree right there in the corner that my sister fell out of and broke her arm. And so I'm going to get out here and show you some. Now behind me, this is the church. It looks a lot better. We used to play in. We used to do cheers for the old people. And we'd always go in there. And so this was the tree I used to play in all the time. I'd play under. There used to be a bench right here. And there's a picture of me somewhere of me with my jams on. With my jams, you know, and I didn't match. It was god awful. But anyway, and I'm sitting there with my first boyfriend ever. We were like in 5th grade, and his name was Michael, and he was from West Virginia, and I just loved him so much. So they have this fence now. My friend Scotty. I've always wanted to find out what happened to him. I heard they moved to Florida, but I don't know. But anyway, I just wanted to show you guys that story I told you about the toxic when we threw all those dead fish. So this was the carport, but all of our backyards were connected, as you can see. And as a kid, it seemed a lot bigger. They got this so overgrown back here. So they got a nice little deck there. But that's, is that the right house? Yeah, that was the house that had the carport right there. Yeah. And this is our house. I tried to go to elementary school, but now it's a business center, and you can't even get to the playground, which doesn't exist. Here's the back of my house. And what's funny is that when we were kids, this hill, it looked like a hill here, but we would sled down it all the time. We would sled down it. Wow. And there were like all these trees that lined the side of our house right here, and I was terrified of them. Those far windows by the garage there, I can't tell why I'm pointing. Back there, I used to climb out that window and wish that somebody would take me away. There's 2 white butterflies playing. I'm just going to say that's my mom and dad. So angry and so sad that I don't know how to feel. But anyway, so we'd also sled down this thing. The church was so gracious enough to let us play. We played in the parking lot all the time. I keep coming back here because I have a lot of unanswered questions, a lot of things I'm getting, as I said in one of my readings, I'm getting a lot of pings of knowledge. And I don't know how to put it all together. I don't know what it means. I know these people think I'm crazy. I'm just walking around the church parking lot. And I always wonder what happened to my best friend, Scotty. Scott Harrison, I believe. He had a brother named Chris. So to talk to your thing. Mom's name was Jeanette, but she was married. It wasn't their dad, but her husband's name was Paul. And they left and moved to Florida back in the late 80s. Let's go hang out with this tree real quick. Yeah, that was Scotty's house. He was my bestest friend. And the other day I was thinking, his brother, I look rough. I didn't even put a filter on. I don't care. His brother looked just like my sister. And this is the little ping Spirit gave me. It may just be a coincidence. And I look just like Scotty. We both had When we were younger, we had blonde hair and our blue eyes. And our parents were best friends. But their older son, Chris, looked just like my sister, Shannon. Dark hair, dark eyes. And then Scotty and I both look alike. Yeah, this was my favorite tree. Why we're coming back, I don't know. I don't know why I was called to come back here again. But this tree is beautiful. What a beautiful tree. I mean, it's just the arms go all the way out. And so, like I said, there was a gate right here, and this is where the girls, my friends, growing up, there was 3 sisters. Dad pushed me off my bike and scraped my knee for beating up his daughter. We used to get fights all the time. My uncle taught me how to fight, so I was overweight, ugly, had bad teeth, fro, like I very overweight, and always got picked on. Everybody in my family was mean to me. I don't think they'll ever deny that. Well, they probably will. But even their spouses, my sister's first husband, used to tell her how mean she was to me. But anyway, she's just a mean-spirited person on the DL. But anyway, yeah, and those people supposedly, I think they were called the Singers. I don't know. They were really mean, too, as a kid. And I'm not going to go past that house because it'd be too emotional. 2 houses up, there was a white family that adopted somebody of a different race. And her name was actually Mary Jane, and she was my first abuser. She, trigger warning, she would put sugar on her breasts and make me and my friend lick it off of her, and then force us to smoke cigarettes, and told us if we ever told anybody, she would tell them that we smoked cigarettes. And you know, as a kid, you're like, you're more fearful of getting in trouble for smoking cigarettes. I mean, it was before 5th grade. That was my first abuser. And then the rest of them came to my house. They were people living in my house and friends of my siblings. Yeah. But I was gone from state to state in traffic. It's funny, when I was at the graveyard, my grandparents, I said, I can handle it. Just show me. I need the answers. I need the rest of the confirmations I've been getting, because I've been getting a lot about my family and what happened and the depths of it, the evilness of them, and what they stole from me. And it's not about getting it back, because I already know how spirit works. Karma, it's going to be 10 times worse than what was taken from me, and I'm not focused on that. I just need clarity for me, because it's part of my path of, through my walk, showing people you can survive anything. Doesn't matter what happened to you as a child, not to negate from it, or as an adult what happened to you, because trigger warning again, a lot of you may know my story of a horrible home invasion where 5 guys kicked in my door, and so I'm self-conscious about showing certain part of my body, because I have cigarette marks, burn marks, and knife marks when they cut me, my private parts, and my back, and everywhere, my face. But I'm ready to close this chapter and use it for alchemy, and use it to show people how to get through it. Those things that have kept you sick and stuck, and in toxic relationships, toxic connections. You know, you're like, yeah, I need to heal my childhood past. It goes really, really deep to our ancestors. And the trigger warning again, the molesting in our families, of not speaking about it, and how our parents were probably molested. And because their parents, our grandparents, didn't have the capabilities, the supports